Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to cover a hot topic that's kind of been a top of mind for me. It's something that's been working very well for my clients, and I really just wanted to provide you guys a ton of value in this one single video. And so essentially, if you're curious about implementation of some of these topics or ideas, or you need help with lead generation, marketing, or just scaling your business as a sales professional, shoot me a message over Facebook or Instagram, or book a time to speak with me down below using my link. And so effectively, one of the things that I wanted to cover today is just the content strategy that we've been using within my program. It's been kicking ass. So effectively, I just wanted to share with this so that you guys can take some golden nuggets and take it to the bank and go cash it out, and so that you guys can, start building your brand a lot more effectively than what I've seen so far in this industry. And I feel like this industry is really dull when it comes to content. It's like you guys don't really know. There's no like formal kind of adopted way. Like the adopted way of putting out content nowadays is just really bland. So let me start off by just kind of addressing that, right? Like one of the few things that I see pretty often as far as, salesmen and sales professionals go is that if you are posting at all with car sales, or you're posting about being a sales professional, a lot of the posts that I see is strictly only post about a vehicle that's on the lot, or post about selling somebody, and that, just being like, congrats, just sold, Susie a car, right? So let me kind of just crank that back and just give you guys my perspective as to why that's not as effective as it could be. So, if you think about it, so there's kind of a rule of thumb of car sales in general, right? So like the market, like if you were to have a population of like 100,000 people, right? At any given point in time, only 1 to 3% of those people that live within that population are likely to be looking for a vehicle right now. Like they're ready to buy, like literally cash in hand, like buying and wanting to buy a car, right? So that means 97% of the other people are somewhere in the sales funnel, whether they just bought a car, or they've had a car, they're not looking for a car, etc., right? So like that means 97% of the audience, or anyone that you get in contact with, anyone that sees that post with that specific vehicle, is they just aren't looking. So yeah, it's good for like top of mind, top of awareness that, hey, this guy sells cars, this girl sells cars. But effectively, if it's a little bit harder you're looking for a needle in the haystack type of deal. So effectively, it's just like, even if they are looking for a car, there's a potential that, the car that you're posting isn't even the car that they want. And when you're consistently just posting just vehicles, it gets really boring. And it's just like, imagine if you just kept seeing that one person on your feed just with the same piece of content over and over and over and over and over again. You just wouldn't care at some point, right? There's no value, there's no substance, there's just nothing there. So if you take that into account, it's just like, well, I don't really care about this anymore, so I'm just not gonna even engage, not even gonna see it, that type of deal. So effectively, you don't want that to be your only piece of content that you're putting out, because it gets tuned out after a bit. And so the other thing is, when I see a lot of people just put out, hey, I just sold Susie a car, it's just like, okay, cool. But like, it's just like, congrats to you, man. Like, you're talking about yourself, and nobody really cares about you. They care about their problems, especially if you're trying to find customers. Sure, the thing that it does bring is social proof. Social proof sells, right? People are talking about like, hey, this guy did a good job, whatever. That's how you get referrals and stuff too, right? But effectively, if those are your only two pieces of content that you're putting out, it's like every day of the week you wear a blue shirt, and every other day of the week you wear a red shirt, right? And people are gonna start to notice that, hey, this guy only has like 2 shirts, isn't there? Doesn't he have some other kind of style? Doesn't he have some other kind of like shirts that he wants to wear, whatever, right? Like, that's just kind of the same analogy. People just get old of it, like it just gets tired, and it gets worn out pretty quickly. And so if I walk you guys through like my perspective on helping my clients with their content strategy, my perspective on content in general is that it should have some kind of value, as far as like it just should have some kind of substance to it. Like it should be either entertaining, it should educate, or it should tell them a little bit, some like be relatable, like those are the kind of the criteria that I think about from like content in general. And like, that's why a lot of people just watch content in general. It's either entertaining, they learn something from it, or it's relatable, right? So those are kind of like the three things that we talk about. And so like that, with the content that we just talked about, right, that like most salesmen put out, is just like a specific car, asking people to come buy from them, or hey, I just sold somebody a car. It's very it doesn't really check a lot of those boxes, right? So one of the biggest things that I preach to me and my people is just like a lot of your content, like the biggest focus here should be putting out something of value. So I love this study that I heard from Chet Holmes, and Chet Holmes is one of the like OGs when it comes to like marketing in general, right? So he calls it edutainment, which I really enjoy the term, and it makes a lot of sense, because essentially with your content, what you want to do is inform your customers on the problems that they're potentially facing, and the backlashes of not in like like bringing awareness to a problem and just telling them why it affects them, and then how you can solve it, right? So like, for example, Chet Holmes talks about how specifically in this example, like they were running a real estate ad telling people to, hey, just buy a house, you ready to buy a house? Come buy a house, and like they had a very low conversion rate. It was like 2 to 3% conversion rate, right? And so essentially Chet Holmes came in and talked to this whole real estate company and was like, hey, what we're gonna do is, they're trying to sell houses out of Mexico, right? Like referencing that again, it's like, okay, instead of putting out this ad telling people to come buy from us, just only a cold call to action that has nothing to do with the customer, let's do this. So one of the things is they did a study where majority of the kids who grow up in Mexico in small houses that don't have enough spaces, the young women, or the young girls and the young boys, the boys are more likely to commit crimes and fall into a life of treachery, and then the young girls are they have lower IQs, and they are more likely to get pregnant at a young age. So like they ran that in the ad, like telling them, hey, this is the problem with having a small house. If you guys don't want this to happen to your family, buy a bigger house so that you guys can have not these problems, right? So essentially they educated their audience, hey, this is a problem, this is how you fix it, through my solution, which is showing you guys how to buy a house, or a bigger, better house, right? And so if we take that perspective and we apply it to car sales and the car niche, it's like, okay, cool, how do we educate our customers and provide them some kind of value so that they can not only learn and find value from what we do, but they can take that to the bank. And so when they are ready to go buy, right, then they think of you, because you're the person that's provided them value over enough time, which they built a relationship with you. They know, like, and trust you now, right? So obviously now when they have shifted the ad to say, hey, like these are the problems with a small housing, they had way more inquiries. Like it drastically skyrocketed compared to the conversion rate that they originally had. I don't remember this exact numbers, but like it was a stark difference. It's crazy. So same principles apply to what we do. So again, one facet is I'm just going to talk about is providing value. And so this is kind of what this piece of information, or this piece of content, is designed to do as well, is just to help inform you guys and give you guys some value so that you can see me as somebody who is an expert in this field. So if you were to think about that, right? Like, now I want to actually watch your content because, okay, if I'm, about to start looking for a vehicle, and I learned that, hey, this is why an inventory shortage is going on right now. This is how to avoid, dealer markups. This is how to make sure you get a good deal. This is what to look out for when you're buying a vehicle. Now that I'm learning these things from you, I'm like, okay, cool. This differentiates you against every other salesman because now you provided me some kind of value. I've reciprocated something. So now there's the law of reciprocity, right? So now that I've received so much value from this one individual, I'm like, okay, I want to do business with you. I am full of so much value that I now know, like, and trust you and your brand. I feel the need to do business with you now, right? Like, that's just kind of the idea behind value and just the whole idea of reciprocity in general. So put out valuable content. So one of the ways that we think through this is, write out a list of all the problems that, you hear on a daily basis, right? Like, you guys know them. So just write out a list of all the problems that your customers face, and then just, write out solutions, and then that's how you make the content. And essentially one of the biggest things is putting them into like a short form little video and then posting that as a reel, and then consistently posting that. So that's one aspect to our content strategy, right? The other aspect is essentially it is being more personal with your content, like, make it more human. Like, you don't want to just be the sales machine, the sales guy. I sell everybody, come shop with me. You don't want that to be your only message. Like, who are you? Why, like, especially if I'm somebody that doesn't know you, like, personally, which you should have in your audience, just to let you guys know. You guys shouldn't just have your, like, friends and your mom and your grandparents on your social media pages. No, it's wrong. But what you want to do is add personal, like, tell them about who you are, right? People would rather do business with somebody who likes the same kind of baseball team that they do rather than somebody that they don't know right off the street, right? So one of the other aspects of what we do is I tell my guys to, hey, put your personality into your content and your messages, right? So, like, for example, like, hey, I went out for dinner with my lady, like, it's our anniversary, and just sharing that kind of stuff. Sharing, like, what, I went fishing this weekend, or I went camping here, or, check out my car, it's a nice ride. Whatever you're into, document that and share that, because people are going to see that and relate to you and be like, huh, man, I like that. That helps you build even more trust. More trust, and the light just turned off. I don't know if it's gonna turn back on. Nah, it's whatever. So the more personal aspect allows you to build more trust with your audience, right? Because now they know a little bit more about you. Now they can like you because now they relate to you, right? So that's one of the things that you can kind of put into perspective there. The last thing is I like telling my guys to talk about, when they talk about their customers, like, tell a story, like, tell them about what you were able to do for them rather than just being like, hey, I sold them a car. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I hit my sales goal. Woo, whatever. Okay. Like, we get that. Congrats. But, people don't know that the car that you just sold to Susie was a single mother who just got turned down by, 5 other dealerships, went through, so much headache, has terrible credit, and, like, you finally got her approved for a good vehicle so she can actually take her kids to school, and, she's as soon as you sold her the vehicle and you got the deal wrapped up, you know, she started crying, and that like she's so grateful for you because you were able to take care of her. You didn't make her feel like somebody who is a scum, like a piece of scum for, you know, trying to purchase a vehicle, and all she needed was a chance to really get her credit right. And like that right there speaks volumes over just being like, hey, I just sold Susie a car, number 15. You know, it's just like, dude, we don't care. You know, and then somebody's gonna read that story that you told about Susie, and then like they're gonna be like, I'm just like Susie. Holy crap, how did he do that? I need to go and shop with that specific person because, you know, like I relate to that story. And then, you know, that adds even more to the social proof, right? And then making sure that you're tagging your customers, of course, so that their friends can see, oh, okay, hey, you know, this guy's a stand-up guy, and that, like, you know, he was able to, you know, actually help this person out who's in a position of need, right? So, you know, those are 3 facets to it. And then obviously it is, you know, you can drizzle in your, you know, your vehicles in there as you kind of go, and just drizzle that in there rather than being like car, sold, and then you're just like, okay, you know, that's so bland, generic. Now we have like this, you know, we just went from having a hamburger and bun to now we have like tomatoes, lettuce, onions, ketchup, mustard. Like now we have a burger with, you know, all the condiments on top of it. It's like as flavorful. It's so much more better to eat than just, you know, bland. It's just a regular old hamburger, right? Nobody wants that compared to the thing that they could have, right? So yeah, that's part of a lot of the content that we've been putting out. It's been really good. Like, it's actually kind of crazy, like the amount of exposure that they've been getting and the amount of people just like constantly reaching out to them because like they've been seeing their content so much and seeing it everywhere. And it just builds this kind of compound effect very quickly. And that's the thing with content, is just being consistent, putting out valuable content, putting out good content. And then that grows your network, grows your audience, builds trust, familiarity, which allows them to feel comfortable with reaching out to you when they are looking for a car. So not only that, you know, it allows them in the long term, allows you to build like this machine with your social media profile where it's attracting business now, and like all the people that you've served are now like incubated in your, you know, ecosystem in a way where it's like, okay, they've done business with you now, and they will always want to do business with you because you sold them, you're always in front of them, it keeps you top of mind, all those other fun things. And they now feel like a part of your brand because now you've, you know, worked with them, told a story. You just continuously provide so much value. So yeah, I think that's quite a long enough video for you guys. I hope you guys find it valuable for sure. You know, like, take this and cash it out. You know, go make some good ideas. I hope to see more valuable content from this industry rather than just, you know, sell. This industry is like very old school and it's very slow to adapt to anything. I'm sure you guys know that as well. So, you know, if you're struggling with your social media, then take this and implement this content strategy, because I genuinely hope it helps. So, you know, that being said, if you need help or implementation with any of the stuff that we talked about, book a call with me. I'd love to help you out. And, you know, the biggest thing at the end of the day is giving you guys a ton of value so you guys can make money from what we do. And, you know, also it's just helping you guys think like a business owner and really grow your business as a sales professional. So much love, guys. You know, I'll catch you guys in another video. But for now, bye.